Hi everyone, I'm Harry here from Bar Traveling Man. So just your local bartender here with a cool little cocktail recipe for you to share. So we're going to be using 2 ounces of local gin, so it can be anything. So that can be from Okinawa Spirits, Legend, Forbidden Spirits, and these guys are wiseacres. Then after that we are going to add in some blackberries. So you want to add in about 4 to 5. That will give it a nice little fruity taste basically. Give that a little bit of a muddle. Now with berries you don't have to go too crazy with the muddling because it's pretty soft as well, so the ice will take care of that. Then you want to add some herbs to this, so I'm adding some local garden rosemary and some oregano. With this, add in 1 ounce of lemon juice and then 3/4 ounce of a simple syrup. So a simple syrup is a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar and water, which you just stir down and dissolve the sugar and just put it in the fridge for a bit. So that's the main ingredients of the cocktail there. Right, so we got some ice in here. Always make sure there's a lot of ice in the shaker, otherwise you're gonna have a really watered down cocktail. So I'm not sure if you can see that there, but try to fill it up about 3/4 of the way. Then it's just simply pour in the ingredients, tight seal, and shake for about 10-12 seconds. Open it up. Then we want to grab a rock glass, fill it up with some ice here. Grab a little strainer here as well. Yep. And then let's strain that over the top here. Tasty. And then garnish wise, very simply, because we use blackberries in the cocktail itself, you can garnish it with some blackberries. And then because I use lemon, I'm going to just put a dehydrated lemon wheel on top and garnish it. Whoops, if the ice works here. Garnish it like that. So ladies and gents, we have a blackberry smash here. So it's a great recipe to have, so you can chop and change the different fruits you use, different herbs. It's light, it's refreshing, and it's a crowd pleaser. So it's one of my favorite drinks I made this year, and I'm sharing it to you guys as well. So the recipe will be available after this video as well, so don't panic. Cheers guys. Thank you. Right guys, we came to the end of my presentation. I just want to, before I leave, I just want to give a shout out to some local distilleries in the Okinawa. So with that recipe I made earlier, do give it a go with something like Okinawa Spirits Family Reserve Gin. Wiseacres they do a really good small batch gin production. So this is batch number 16 right now. Also, if you don't like gin, try something, try like a vodka instead. So this is Forbidden Spirits Rebel Vodka made from apples. And then down a little bit further, Legends Distilling, they do a rosemary smoked gin. This would be fantastic in that recipe as well. Also for anyone who doesn't drink, you could always double the recipe without the alcohol, and then just add something like tonic, soda or ginger beer in the recipe, and it should work really well as well. Or you could replace the alcohol with a spirit-free product. So the actual saying is there's a non-alcoholic distilled spirit. So Lamette or Seedlip do really good products. This basically replaces alcohol. There's no burn or anything like that. It's just flavored water, distilled water, I believe. I'm not sure the technical terms, but yeah, that's another option as well. So if you have any questions or anything, give me a shoot on Instagram, Bar Traveling Man as well. Yeah, have fun, everyone. Cheers. Bye.
Hi, my name is Tegan Gaze, and I am a singer-songwriter from Kelowna, BC. This is my song that I wrote called Don't Look Back. Together we stand, hand in hand. Don't forget to donate. So what? You had a bad day. Nothing's going your way. Yeah, life's tough. Just gotta dance in the rain. And know the sun will come up. Yeah, babe. The sky will clear. The rain will stop. And when it does, don't look back. You're not going that way. What's past is a past. Tomorrow could be your day. Don't sell yourself short. Get back on that horse and ride the night away. And don't look back. You're not going that way. Sometimes rock bottom likes to stay and linger in your doorway. Don't fret, life is made up of waves. Shoots you up then back down. Yeah, babe, the sky will clear, the rain will stop. And when it does, don't look back. You're not going that way. What's past is a past. Tomorrow could be your day. Don't sell yourself short. Get back on that horse and ride the night away. And don't look back. You're not going that way.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Voices Against Violence in support of the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society. Thank you so much for being here to help raise their voice against gender-based violence in our community. I'm Alicia from K96.3, Kelowna's Classic Rock. You may hear me on the K Wake Up Monday to Friday with Brad and Alicia. So if you're here because you're listening to our show, thank you so much. But the real reason we're here is to raise a ton of money for the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society. We do have a big, exciting show for you this evening. And before we get started, I do want to welcome Alex Terbasket, who will make the land acknowledgement. Alex?
Waitaskahal Isquistiwachen. Good day, everyone. My name is Alex Terbasket. I'm a member of the Lower Smilkmeen Indian Band, which is a part of the Okanagan Nation Alliance. Today, I would like to acknowledge the traditional territory of the Syilx people. And I want to tell you about the importance of land acknowledgement. The importance of land acknowledgement is a step in the right direction for the truth and reconciliation. The land acknowledgements are about the places that we live and work on, and it's more about the education of everyone and knowing the place where you're currently residing and working on. And it's about removing personal biases that might contribute to discrimination and racism, and about acknowledging about the people who have been here generations before us, and it'll be about the generations after us. And it's good to reflect on the land acknowledgement of where you're at continuously. And I don't believe there's a right and wrong way to do a land acknowledgement, because as long as you're acknowledging the people and the place you're at, you're still honoring the people, even if you're terrible at it or you do a short acknowledgement. It's still a step in the right direction, because at least we're trying and we're learning, and that's going to make the difference in the world today and the future, for the future generations to start taking the steps in the right direction on abolishing racism and discrimination, and lifting up the people that have been here for generations that have been overlooked, and acknowledging that the territory we are on of the Syilx people is unceded and will never be ceded. I believe that's all I have on land acknowledgement. So I'd like to thank you for inviting me to do this land acknowledgement, and I wish you a good day. Limlimt.
Thank you, Alex, for that land acknowledgement. We truly appreciate your time. And that was just beautiful. Coming up, we are going to be introducing another member of the team. Just a quick note, if you are on Trellis right now, you can sign in. You can start donating. You can jump on the chat. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you in there, because you're a part of the show just as much as we are. Coming up next, we do have Chris Mahoney, the Executive Director of the Elizabeth Fry Society. Chris joined the E-Fry team with over 25 years experience supporting the not-for-profit sector in health and well-being. And she has a history of working in executive management with a big focus on crisis counseling, mental health, family violence, addictions, and individual and family well-being. So let's welcome Chris to the stage.
Hey everyone, my name's Chris Mahoney, and I am the Executive Director of the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society. So I'm so excited to be here tonight. Before we get started, though, I really want to begin by acknowledging the land on which we gather and which we are hosting this event, and that is the unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people. We are grateful and we respect that we have the opportunity to host our event on this territory. So just before we get started, I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for coming out and for supporting Voices Against Violence. It's a fantastic event and really raises awareness around gender-based violence. So thank you. Your support means a lot to us.
Thank you so much for that, Chris. And now, Elizabeth Fry Society has done a lot of work in our community. If you don't know much about them, they are a feminist organization that is dedicated to ending domestic violence and sexual violence, providing support services, and advocating for survivors who have to move through the court system here in the Central Okanagan Valley. They've been around for more than 70 years, so that's why they know what they're doing, and that's why they can get people the help they need. They're located in the central downtown area. They have prevention and intervention services. And they work with a lot of other community partners to make sure people are getting what they need. One of the most important things that they offer is their adult counseling service. It provides affordable and inclusive counseling to people who have been impacted by recent or historical sexual abuse that may not otherwise get that counseling that they truly need. Sexual assault is one of the most devastating crimes for a survivor, and the Elizabeth Fry Society sees intakes for all of those people. In the last 18 months alone, those intakes have risen in number and in severity. So it is growing, unfortunately, and these services are needed now more than ever. That's why we're here tonight with all of you, not only to raise awareness about that gender-based violence, but to raise funds for these much-needed programs. Before our next presenter, I think that we're going to try and go live to Sam and David if they are ready.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, there they are.
We're on our Vespa. We're going to the lucky winner of our door prize, and we're just cruising along.
And we just learned that we share the same birthday.
Yep.
Nice.
But we have the best ride in town. All set up, all safety geared up. Good
And
to go.
on our way to our lucky winner here.
What's the prize you guys are
whoever
going to be
wins
giving
this,
away?
See you soon.
All right, we'll check in with Sam and David again in just a little bit. Thanks for the update, you guys. I am truly jealous of the Vespa. That thing is sweet. We will find out who the lucky winner is very, very soon. I'd now like to introduce you to a speaker that I personally am very excited to hear from. Amal Aloueshal is a TEDx speaker, sexuality and leadership coach, and recently named Top 40 Under 40. Amal was born and raised in Saudi Arabia, and she got into a fixed marriage at the age of 18. In 2013, she filed for divorce, moved to Canada, 24 years old, and covered from head to toe. Today, she holds women and vulva-bodied people on their healing journey to reclaim their power from religious, societal, and political oppression. This evening, she is here to share her story with us all. Please welcome Amal.
Thank you. What an honor, what a pleasure to be joining you this evening. I am joining you from the Algonquin and Ashapi people's territories. Before that, the Syilx people's land, the Okanagan Valley, was home for 6 years. I'd like to acknowledge that I am an uninvited guest hoping to immigrate to Canada following the laws of the Canadian government, the same government that have taken this land without the consent of the Indigenous people. What a pleasure and an honor to gather with you this evening. And before Canada, I moved here 8 years ago, and I moved with 8 bright suitcases. And along that, I had packed trauma that I chose for a long time not to look at, and it haunted me. And I refused to use the term survivor on myself, but I am a survivor. And just a year and some months before I moved to Canada, I was kidnapped by my ex-husband when I filed for divorce. And to just think about it, and as I speak of this story, I invite you to feel the earth beneath you. I invite you to look around you, your space, your windows, the doors. Just taking a moment as we move through this together. And I had moved here, and for years, I was heavied by the shame, by the guilt. I have internalized that what happened to me was my fault. I don't remember a lot from the 7 days that my ex-husband have kidnapped me, but and this is not unique to me, many survivors share that the loss of memory or the protection of our nervous system for us to remember every single detail. And I just vividly remember the moment that he was sitting on my chest, choking me, telling me that he'd rather do everything to me than divorce me. Having laughed and survived that moment, I look back and I also remember the moments that I grew up listening to my grandmother talk about and say that a woman hits herself, saying that a man doesn't do anything, it's because the women have evoked him. And I remember the tight chest. I remember refusing that as I was growing up, that the violence against women and female bodies is not because of them. They did not inflict that. And for the years that I believed, I've just like my grandmother, I've internalized that it might have been my fault. I filed for divorce. I spoke up. I stood up, and it's some level, a part of me believed that I deserved that punishment, and I brought it for myself. And again, what a common theme among survivors. The other thing that I actually recently have learned, that a lot of domestic homicide rates are through choking. And it was in preparation for this event that I learned it's above 85% of cases are through choking. And so just like taking a moment to recognize the heaviness of this topic that we're gathered around today, and holding among the heaviness, holding the possibility of healing, holding the celebration that we're gathered here today to change something, to support survivors. For myself, the journey of healing, and I'm still on it, I feel I can't help but recognize the privilege that I had the resources, both the money, the time, the capacity to show up, to do the deep work. And I can't help but acknowledge that some do not have that yet, and some do not have the capacity to speak up yet. And so I choose to speak up for myself, to speak for those who don't have a voice, for those who are not ready yet. And I ask you, what is your role in this? What is the light that you're bringing into this? And perhaps it's for you to take care of yourself. It's perhaps for you to donate, to support survivors. It's perhaps for you to offer a listening, supportive ear and space, the safe and brave space that many survivors need, that many who are going through this right now need. And safety could be found externally in the things, and safety could be found in other people, the connection, the community. And sometimes if we have the capacity, we can find it within. And it's all those pieces that we're gathered around. Since the pandemic, I believe, and for myself, like, my eyes have looked out and have looked in, and many of us, our eyes have turned into our old ways of being and questioning those old ways of being, and perhaps in curiosity of what else is possible. And for me, I see a world where we're all in our own power. And it's not the power over others, but that internal power that's ours, that sovereignty. And I just feel us all this evening gathered in this beautiful circle, wearing the crown that is our own sovereignty. And we're just showing up. We're working towards healing here to heal the outside. This evening, I want to celebrate our gathering this evening, the hope, the fact that we are giving this issue time and space, that fact that we're giving money and resources to support survivors. I am celebrating the possibilities and the potentials and the hope that our community right here is creating for many. I'm holding the pain, the shame, the heaviness of this topic, and the possibility to heal, and being in both the heaviness and the light, and being in the pain and the possibility of joy and pleasure. This evening, my heart is full of love to each and every one of you, in deep gratitude for your radical generosity in your time, attention, and money. Don't let this conversation end this evening. Support survivors, support your neighbors, create your communities. Deep gratitude to each and every one of you. May you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Amal. That was very moving. Can see why you were a TEDx speaker, because that was truly beautiful. And we thank you again for your time. Don't forget, you can sign up on Trellis. Make sure you sign in. You can make a donation at any time during the broadcast. If you're moved by Amal's words or any of our performers that we have, we would love that. Sinead just making a donation. Thank you so much. We so appreciate it. That money going to be going towards some great programs with the Elizabeth Fry Society. And with that, we are going to welcome one of Elizabeth Fry's finest, Chelsea Anderson. Chelsea is a registered professional counselor who works for the adult counseling program at eFry, and she's here to give us a more in-depth look at what they do and what it's all about. Chelsea, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Hi, thanks so much, Alicia.
So I've just got a few questions for you, and hopefully we can shed some light on the great work you guys are doing at Elizabeth Fry.
Yeah.
Let's start off really simple. For those who maybe don't have an idea, what is gender-based violence?
Yeah, good question. So gender-based violence refers to the harmful acts directed at individuals based on their gender. It is rooted in the abuse of power and harmful societal inequality, gender norms. What that means for us at Elizabeth Fry Society is that a lot of our clients are mainly female identifying, not all of them, but mainly our clients are female identifying individuals who have experienced either domestic or sexual violence.
Can you tell us a little bit about your adult counseling program and how that works for people?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, very generally speaking, the adult counseling program offers counseling services to people from all walks of life, all gender identities, all nationalities. Our clients have experienced a wide range of sexual traumas and are wanting to work through the impacts of those traumas.
Can you tell us a little bit about this? Because I know there's a number of different counseling techniques out there and different types. Can you tell us more about what the trauma counseling is all about?
Totally. Yeah, you're right. There's so many different techniques, and kind of depending on who you ask, they might have a technique that they prefer. But I think at the core of it, often people will assume that trauma counseling means some kind of exposure therapy where they have to retell or re-experience the most traumatic details of what they have gone through, which is definitely not the case. That sort of therapy can be really re-traumatizing for people, and that's not what we want to do. So in trauma counseling, especially after a sexual assault, we let our clients know that they can tell us as much or as little as they feel comfortable sharing with us. And that the work we're actually doing in counseling is dealing with the effects that the trauma has had on a person and how they continue to experience the effects of that as a result. So again, very generally speaking, with trauma counseling, we begin with some psychoeducation about the nervous system and how trauma works with the brain and integrates with our nervous system. And then during the process of counseling, clients learn to become more familiar with their own personal triggers and how those triggers play a role specifically in their own nervous systems. And then we collaborate on how to best regulate emotions and address body responses. And something Amal said as well is, really unpack the shame and the pain that those experiences have caused and learn to integrate into what that means for them going forward. So generally speaking, in a nutshell, everyone's journey is different, but this is kind of maybe the essence of what trauma counseling would look like.
Now, you guys have helped a lot of people. Who is actually eligible to use the services at Elizabeth Fry?
So lots of people are eligible. Anyone who has experienced any form of sexual violence is eligible. So anything from unwanted touching, from whether it's a stranger or someone even they know, to a Tinder date gone wrong, to past childhood trauma that someone hasn't even spoken up about before. There doesn't need to be a police report made, which a lot of people think that there does need to be some sort of official reporting, and it doesn't. We're there to support survivors. We're there to support people from all walks. All peoples are eligible.
That's great to hear. And I mean, with the way the world has been in the last 18 months, I don't think we need to mention what's been going on. But have you guys seen a higher demand for your services?
Well, you kind of alluded to that before, but I'm really not the best person to ask that question to, because I'm not one of the frontline people. Counseling isn't necessarily the front line of what people will encounter when they come to Elizabeth Fry right off the get-go. So when people call in for services, first they go through an intake with a victim service worker. And that victim service worker, if the client expresses a desire for counseling, then at the moment, unfortunately, they'll be put on a wait list for counseling because of the nature of our work. There's a wait list for counseling. So by the time we see them, it is months after their initial first call. Until recently, there was only myself and one other counselor. So the wait list was going pretty slow. It was pretty slow moving, but we have a great team now. And there is, in general, there's a big demand for affordable counseling in the Okanagan. People who don't have benefits coverage, who need a little bit of extra help. And that does contribute to longer wait lists in general. So I can't give you a yes or no, there's more or less, but that's kind of, from my perspective in counseling, that's what we're seeing.
So, as a counselor, can you give us a couple of maybe takeaway skills on how to give support to someone who may disclose to you that something has happened to them, whether it be an assault or something else?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. So one of the most important things to do when someone discloses to you is to believe them without question. Asking questions like, what were you wearing? Had you been drinking? Hadn't you slept with them before? Those things are irrelevant and can make a person feel like they're being victim blamed. They're not particularly helpful. Another thing would be to, respond with empathy. Let the person know that it wasn't their fault what happened to them. Listen and give them space to express how they're feeling about what happened. Another thing, a big one actually, would be, ask them how you can support them best, because we don't know. You don't really know until it happens to you. So this could be simply, listening in the moment to what they have to say, just being that shoulder to cry on if that's what they need, or helping them find community supports like us that can help them through what they're going through, or helping them report to authorities. But really, it's always best to ask when someone chooses to disclose to you, because instead of trying to decide what you think they need, asking them what they need. And then finally, one thing that people often do overlook is getting support for yourself. If someone has disclosed to you, getting support for yourself. Receiving a disclosure from a friend or family member can be really distressing. It's not uncommon for support providers, friends and family, to feel the shock, sadness, anger, disbelief, helpfulness, you name it. And if you receive a disclosure and you're having difficulty, you can come to Elizabeth Fry too. We'll support. I should have said that in the eligibility part. But if you're struggling with a family member who has disclosed something to you, know what to do, we can support you through that as well. People who are in support roles for family and friends play such a big role in survivors' healing. And it's so important to provide a positive social response, not just, from an organization, but a social response from those friends and family member. So take care of yourself, and so you can support that person better as well.
Yeah, that's always one of my favorite sayings is you can't pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself so that you can support others.
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you so much for your time, Chelsea. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Alicia.
That is Chelsea from the Elizabeth Fry Society, one of their Rockstar counselors. Coming up next, we are actually going to be turning things over to some of our community leaders. Loyal Wooldridge and Karen Mason will be speaking about the community impact and the impact of gender-based violence in their respective fields. I'll give you a little background on our pros we've got coming in here. Karen Mason is the co-founder and director of community practice for SOAR, supporting survivors of abuse and brain injury through research, which explores the intersection of brain injury and intimate partner violence, and former executive director of the Kelowna Women's Shelter. So lots of experience on Karen. A seasoned nonprofit leader and advocate, Karen is also the executive director for Third Space Charity, which supports mental health and wellness in young adults. They have a free counseling program. They have supports for young people, post-secondary, practicum training programs. And presenting with her tonight will be Loyal. Loyal Wooldridge is a Kelowna City Councillor, entrepreneur, and community advocate. Elected to council in 2018, grounded in the power of community, giving back, and creating equity for underrepresented voices, Loyal founded Loyal Hair in downtown Kelowna, and at the age of 21, with the intention of giving back and empowering everyone to their own potential. They are going to be presenting together tonight, so let's welcome Karen and Loyal.
Hello everybody, I'm Councillor Loyal Wooldridge, and it's an honor to speak to you this evening at the Elizabeth Fry Society Voices Against Violence. We're speaking to you tonight from the traditional ancestral unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people, and before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge my relative privilege as a cisgendered white man that's very honored to be here to speak to this subject tonight, but I am speaking to it through that lens. And I'm joined with my good friend, Karen Mason, tonight, who's a subject matter expert.
I guess, I don't know if I'd call myself a subject matter expert, but I did spend a number of years, as you know, working with the Kelowna Women's Shelter, and I now am the co-founder and director of community practice for a project called SOAR, which stands for Supporting Survivors of abuse and brain injury through research. And we're looking at the intersection of brain injury and intimate partner violence, which has been incredibly understudied, but is in fact a bit of a hidden health crisis in our community and across the world. So I'm really honored to be here supporting such a great organization that is helping survivors in our community.
The city of Kelowna, like many municipalities across the nation, are faced with intense social challenges, which is really the outcome of much trauma and violence that many people are experiencing in their lives. So events like this are so important to raise money to assist survivors in creating a continuum of care so that we can continue to support people through these challenging times.
And we know that, statistically, just over 40% of women in Canada will experience violence in their lifetime. So if you transpose that to our little Kelowna community, that's 45,000 women and girls who will experience violence across the span of their lifetime. That's absolutely unacceptable and shocking.
It's very shocking, and what we have to realize is that we have to support women and marginalized and underrepresented voices to overcome these challenges. When we empower marginalized people, that is how we grow stronger as a community. Through our homelessness initiative, Journey Home, we've learned that over 30% of the people that are experiencing homelessness in Kelowna identify as Indigenous. And we just have to look at the history of the last 150 years to know how that has come to be. Karen, in any of your experience, have you worked with Indigenous people and experienced some of the challenges that they've been faced with?
Absolutely. We know that Indigenous women are at a much higher risk of violence. And in fact, in the work we've done with the SOAR project, 20% of our research participants are Indigenous. And that's compared to the statistical percentage for Kelowna of 7%. So that bears out that they are overrepresented.
Absolutely. And we also know that the trans community is overrepresented when it comes to abuse and trauma. And moreover, we have to realize that all of these people are people, and we need to not look at statistics, but look at how we can support one another with empathy, understanding, and compassion. Now, Karen, with your previous roles, with your role today, what do you think we need to do as a community to overcome some of these challenges?
Well, smashing the patriarchy is a big job, and that's really what it all comes down to. But events like this and people showing empathy and understanding, becoming educated on how big of a crisis gender-based violence is, that's a really good start. The programs Elizabeth Fry is offering in our community are incredibly helpful, empowering, and helping women and other survivors of violence heal.
And from a local government perspective, we rely on the services from organizations like the Elizabeth Fry Society to assist us in supporting residents to achieve their highest potential. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out this evening and digging deep into your wallets to support the counseling services that Elizabeth Fry offers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Big thank you to Loyal and Karen for that one. We really do need to work to bring those marginalized groups up. And I think the passion with which Karen said we need to smash the patriarchy, that's the kind of energy I love to see in my life. So thank you guys for that. That was fantastic. And I'm here for it, all of it. We're coming up to a very special part in our evening. Once again, just a quick reminder, if you are on Trellis right now, make sure you sign in. You can make donations at any time. You can still continue to get in on those silent auction items. There's lots of good stuff up for bids in there. And if you like wine, you're in the right place. I will say that as well. So make sure that you get those donations in on Trellis. Thank you again for being here to support the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society. And with that, we have something very special. The Elizabeth Fry Society is going to be giving an award to a community partner who has gone above and beyond. So let's bring Chris back to do that.
Thanks. So for the next part of our evening, I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce our Community Hero Award. This is a brand new award from the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society that we decided when we were coming up with the concept of Voices Against Violence that we really want to recognize and acknowledge our community partners and our community heroes. So we're really excited as the very first award that we're presenting to be providing it to this particular organization. So this organization is well known for supporting children, families. It does incredible work in terms of coming together as a collaboration and making sure that the child and family has kind of one place to go to and not to a whole bunch of different places to get service or to get their needs met. The very existence of this organization in our community provides the opportunity for us to work towards the prevention of child abuse and neglect. This is an organization that has a child-friendly center, and many advocates and supports are located in that center, all around the effort to support children and families. So it is my honor tonight to present the 2021 Community Hero Award to the Child Advocacy Center. We've been fortunate enough to work in partnership with them since their inception, and we look forward to a long road ahead of working together to limit and end child abuse and neglect. Here is the award that we will be providing out. Totally honest. So congratulations, Child Advocacy Center, a much deserved award.
Thank you so much, Chris, and thank you to the entire team at eFry for this honor. My name is Ginny. I'm the Executive Director here at the Child Advocacy Center of Kelowna. This award is incredibly meaningful for us for a number of reasons, not the least of which is how far back our relationship with eFry goes. Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society was a really critical, important part in the early stages of how this Child Advocacy Center came to be. So fast forward to today, and being honored as a hero in the community by our partners at eFry means a lot. The work that we do together on site at the CAC is so important to some of our community's most vulnerable citizens. The CAC responds to child abuse and neglect. So we work very closely with children who've experienced things that most of us can't imagine. And part of how we do that is through our partnership with eFry. So here at our center, we have embedded workers who specialize in victim support that are provided to us through our partnership with eFry. And I think that goes a long way to talk about how important community partnership really is. And really, we can't achieve these outcomes if we don't work together. So being honored in this way tonight, I can't thank you enough on behalf of our entire team here at the CAC. It means everything to be honored as heroes by people that we think of as heroes, our partners at eFry. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this evening.
Wow. Big congratulations to Ginny and the Child Advocacy Center. You guys are doing such amazing work for the community and for Elizabeth Fry, and you guys coming together to do the work that's needed. It's honestly so beautiful to see that there's easier ways for people to get the help that they need. So thank you for all that you do. And for all of you who are tuning in, thank you for supporting eFry. They truly appreciate it. And once again, don't forget those silent auction items still up for bids. You could get your hands on some really great stuff from some local businesses and organizations. So get those bids in, also accepting cash donations, which go a long way to providing these much needed services through the Elizabeth Fry Society. I think it's about time we go check in with Sam and Dave out on the scooter. Let's see where they are with their door delivery prize.
All right, we are here. Our lucky winner, James. Hopefully he's home. So let's go knock on the door.
Ooh, a live door knocking.
All right, David's going to bring it up to see if he's home. But it's an amazing gift package from Ferris. We got enough golf swag for him to have a good round with his buddies, as well as some gift cards from our friends at Okanagan Grill and Bar and Starbucks. Let's see if he's home. Oh boy.
He's not here. I'm keeping it.
There we go. Hi, James. You're our lucky winner tonight.
Ta-da! Thank you very much.
Congratulations. You got some swag from our friends at Ferris for some golf with you and some buddies. 19 Okanagan Grill and Bar, as well as Starbucks, and some carrots, chocolates for a good night in.
Chocolates, not carrots.
No,
Perfect.
not carrots.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Are you a golfer?
Oh, absolutely.
Beautiful. All right, it's going to good use.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was great to support a great cause.
No, you don't get a speech.
Okay.
No.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so we're getting back on our Vespa and we're heading back downtown.
All right, thank you to Sam and Dave. He looked very excited about that prize pack. And anytime you're getting chocolate from Carrot, you're going to be excited because that stuff is so good. Every time I walk downtown, I have to avoid going in there. Let's be honest, I fail at that a lot. It's okay. It's good stuff, and they're good local business. Thank you, Sam and Dave, for that. And thank you to our winner for all of your support of the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society tonight. Up next, we have a video which has been created with collaboration of Savannah from You Grow Girl, Elizabeth Fry, and the public. Savannah is a marketing wizard, and Kate is the fund development coordinator. They went to the streets to actually talk to the community about what they thought gender-based violence really is. So let's go take a look.
I'd say 1 in 4.
I'd say 1 in 4 to 1 in 5, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's something that I live every day.
What I visualize is like, you know, maybe with someone being more dominant and, you know, taking advantage of that.
I tell you that I was impacted by it myself.
When people are threatened or injured due to their gender or their gender of choice.
Any vulnerable person from any walks of life or gender can become subject to abuse.
To send an uplifting message to other people.
Help people really reach a certain degree of growth so that they can actually, each individual can stand up for themselves and raise their voice.
People should have a right to feel safe and secure in a relationship.
Because so many women before me couldn't make it.
It is amazing and great that these kind of programs are available in the community to help people who really need it. I myself at some point needed the support of Elizabeth Fry, and I'm very grateful for it.
Wow. Again, very powerful. And you're going to hear me say that a lot tonight because every time you see the statistics and you see people talk about it, you really do realize how many of us have been affected by gender-based violence and the things that go along with it. So thank you to everyone who spoke with the team for that video and for everyone, again, who is supporting the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society tonight. The work you're doing is so important, and every donation you make is so important to helping people. Up next, I'm very excited for this. We have Tegan Gase performing a cover of Drops of Jupiter by Train. This is one of my favorite songs from when I was in high school, so I will be singing along in the background, hopefully on mute. She's a popular Métis singer-songwriter who grew up in the little prairie of Chetwynd, BC, as she calls it. She writes a lot about her real-life experiences, tells a lot of stories of heartbreak, and is a big advocate for helping girls everywhere go after their dreams. She hopes to inspire a generation of young girls and help others step into their power and make it on their own terms, which I absolutely love. So let's all welcome Tegan Gase.
Hey guys, I'm back and I have a cover for you called Drops of Jupiter. Now that he's back from the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in his hair, yeah. He acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Yeah. And since his return from the stay on the moon, he listens like spring and he talks like June. Yeah. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights are faded, that heaven is overrated? And tell me, did you fall for a shooting star, one without a permanent scar? And did you miss me while you were looking for yourself back from that soul vacation, tracing his way through the constellation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He checks out poultry while he does tie ball. Reminds me that there's room to grow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that he's back from the atmosphere, I'm afraid that he might think of me as plain old Jane. Saw the story about a man who was too afraid to fly, so he never did land. But tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance along in the light of day and head back to the Milky Way? And tell me, did Venus blow your mind? Was it everything you wanted to find? And did you miss me while you were looking for yourself? Na 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 na. The best soy latte that you've ever had in me.
Wow, just absolutely beautiful, Tegan. Thank you so much. If you're a big fan of Tegan, make sure you follow her on all her social media accounts. She also does a lot of work with our sister station, Country 100.7, because she does live here in Kelowna now, I'm pretty sure. So make sure you follow them and see where Tegan's going to be next. She just performed at Denim on the Diamond this past weekend and was absolutely incredible. We're getting real close to the end of the evening here, so thank you all again for being here. Before we do, we're going to check out one more awesome video that was put together with You Grow Girl and the team at eFry. They're going to be highlighting some of the incredible people that work with the organization. This one is called Why We Care. Let's check it out.
Hi everyone, Chris Mahoney here, Executive Director for Elizabeth Fry Society here in Central Okanagan.
I'm Bianca and I do intake and admin at Elizabeth Fry Society.
Hey, my name is Shaman Earhart and I am a sexual assault counselor with the Central Okanagan Elizabeth Fry Society.
Hi, my name is Kate and I'm the Fund Development Coordinator here at the Elizabeth Fry Society in Kelowna.
We are a group of very, very willed and passionate people that want to support those that are survivors of violence, whether that's intimate partner violence or sexual abuse. What is this event, Voices Against Violence, all about? We're really here to create awareness and also to raise funds to support our adult counseling program.
In the last 19 months during the pandemic, we have seen a huge increase in the demand for these services, and we just can't keep up. The wait list is getting longer and longer, and we need your help.
Our adult counseling program has been around for, gosh, I believe it's over 50 years now.
Providing counseling for survivors of sexual violence is really important for their healing, and it's better if we can do it sooner.
Definitely see gender-based violence on a daily basis at our organization. I'm the first point of contact for a lot of people, oftentimes the first person that they disclose to as well.
We really specialize in trauma-informed work and working with sexual abuse survivors.
My work allows people to talk about their experiences and have that experience of hearing someone witness their story.
It's such a incredibly necessary service that there's more people than most people realize.
I get everybody, no matter what age, gender, class, everybody calls. The resounding message is always nobody ever expects themselves to be in the situation, and it can happen to literally anyone.
Sexual violence is something that happens to so many people, and it happens in silence, and people feel so much shame that it's really hard to talk about.
We just try to help everybody the best we can.
Anything you can do to create awareness, support us financially, spread the word around this work, and just be another voice against violence. It is totally appreciated. We are inspired and grateful to the community for all they do and all the support we get from them.
Wow. Another truly powerful video. And you can see the passion behind the team at the Elizabeth Fry Society. Thank you to all of you on the team for everything that you do and the way that you are helping people in their journeys as survivors. It's truly incredible. That's why we're here tonight. The team that is helping people to work on their journeys. And you are doing so much good with your donations tonight. Thank you to everyone who has already donated. I'm watching the ticker as it goes, and it just brings a tear to my eye every time I see another one come in. So thank you for that. Oh, wow. We're getting close to the end of the night. But before we sign off, I've got more for you. Don't you worry. We're not done quite yet. The silent auction items are continuing until 11 p.m. tonight. So if you haven't gotten those donations in yet, get in on it. You'll want to be the top on some of these because I'm looking at these items right now. And I'm right after we're done the broadcast, I'm going to go put some bits in as well because I can't help it. I mean, you look at the vintage Oculus wine. This is one of only 100 bottles released. And if you're a bit of a wine snob like me and you've spent a little too much time on the bench, this will be one you'll want to have in your collection. So that's just one of many. You can get a one-night stay at a prestige hotel here in Kelowna. They've got some facials from Event Skincare. A couple of packages from them as well, which, self-care is important. And if you want to take care of yourself, that's a great way to do it while supporting a great cause here at the Elizabeth Fry Society. They've also got that ultimate cozy comfort package for a stay-at-home night. Mosaic Bookstore, another place I spend too much time at downtown. A gift card to Parlor Ice Cream, which has the best flavors. They had an espresso one over the summer that I ate far too many times. There's a really nice Purple Brave hoodie from the UR Collective and a strong pink toque to match it so you can be nice and bright when you're chilling at home. There's a Rec Fitness workout package and Ukra Japanese Cherry Blossom Essential Oil Reed Diffuser so you can have the scents that you want in your home. And an Indulge Wine and Chocolate package as well that's got some really great ones on there from some local wineries like Elephant Island on the Naramata Bench, Meadow Vista here in East Kelowna, Hillside Winery. They've got some chocolate in there, a candle to go with it. So you can truly create your own little moment. If you were here at the very beginning of the show, you may have seen Harry, the bar traveling man. He's got an antioxidant cocktail kit in there so that you can make your very own cocktails at home, just like he does, which looked really, really good. And they've got some art by Jet Artwork. There's a few different ones. There's one called Her Moon, which is really beautiful and lunar. And then there's one called Empower, which reminds me of the Rolling Stones, but is more badass because you can tell it's a female. That's all I'm saying. So make sure you take a look at the silent auction items. Get in there before 11 o'clock tonight when everything closes off. Big thank you again for being here, everybody. And we need to thank our sponsors because they make nights like tonight happen. The big main sponsors, Revivio, Stingray Radio, that's us, K96.3 Classic Rock, and Country 100.7, our sister station. We are always trying to help out where we can. Thank you to TD Benefits as well for contributing to the event and making this all possible. Now, because you are live on the broadcast, there is one more auction item that you could win. We have saved this for the very end. We are calling it the last $100 to make it very dramatic. So how this is going to work is there might be a little bit of a delay for the live versus what you see. But if you make a $100 donation right now, and you are the last person to get that $100 donation in when I cut it off, then you will win a special wine prize pack from Summerhill Pyramid Winery. And I'm going to show you this thing if I can lift it because I tried to lift it earlier and I looked ridiculous. So I'm going to look ridiculous again for all of you right now. You can hear it crinkling? Okay. So start getting those $100 bids in on Trellis. Be the last person to donate. I'm going to just... Can we all see? Okay, so there's some beautiful wines in here. How does my camera work? As you can tell, I am a YouTube star. So there's 3 bottles in here from Summerhill Pyramid, 2 nice glasses to use in it. There is some chocolate in there as well, which is the good bougie chocolate, the best kind. As for the wines, in looking at them here, we have a very nice Estate Gewürztraminer. We have the organic Cabernet Franc. And then, because you always need bubbles, there is the Sipes Brut, which is how I celebrated my birthday this year. So I can tell you it's good stuff. So you got to be the last person to get a $100 bid in right now. We're taking those bids on Trellis. And if you don't see it pop up right away, that's okay. Sometimes it takes a sec. And make sure you've got all of your credit card info in there. so that you can get those bids in on the last $100 prize pack from Summerhill Pyramid Winery. Now is the time. I've seen some of your bids coming in throughout the night. And remember, that last $100 is going to be the person to win. So if you haven't put it in yet, now is the time. We're taking them. The bidding is open for those $100 donations for this beautiful Summerhill Pyramid Winery prize pack. I would love to see it, you guys. So get those bids in. We're going to see how many come in as we head to our final video here. We've got Chris Mahoney, the Executive Director of Elizabeth Fry, coming back up.
Well, here we are. It's at the end of our evening, and I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you to all of you for participating and joining us in our event, to our incredible presenters and entertainers, and to our sponsors. We couldn't do this work without your support. So it has been really wonderful to see the community come together, and we appreciate your continued support and help in raising awareness about gender-based violence. So thank you from the bottom of my heart again, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much for that one, Chris. And we are going to be wrapping things up here. So I've been talking too much. Sorry about that. Time is up on the last 100. And our winner of this beautiful Summerhill Pyramid Winery prize pack is Lorraine. Congratulations, Lorraine. It's all yours. Let me know when I can come over for wine. Seriously. Okay. You can enjoy it how you like. It's up to you, Lorraine. Thank you so much for your support tonight. We'll be sending up a follow-up survey, so make sure you give us your feedback. Let us know which parts of the show you enjoyed and how we can make this experience better next time. Before we end off, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much. I'm Alicia from the K Wake Up on K96.3, Kelowna's Classic Rock. And I just appreciate you guys letting me take this moment with you to support a great local organization. We're going to leave you off with one more song from Tegan Gase. This one is called Not Alone, which she wrote in honor of this event. Take it away, Tegan.
This is my song that I just wrote for this event. Just wanted you to know that you're not alone. I know times get tough, I know things are rough, but take my hand and we'll play the path of you getting home. I know times get hard, we all got scars, but take my hand and we'll play the path of you getting home. 'Cause you are not alone, so darling, don't you cry. But if you're gonna cry, I'll stand with you till morning light. If you're gonna cry, I'll stand with you till morning light.
can